Let me ask you something. When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Hi, this is Alan. I like IRONWORX because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love IRONWORX with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that IRONWORX with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the IRONWORX.
This is enlightened dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Ironrealmmedia is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the IRONWORX with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the IRONWORX and become an Iron Scout.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day.
Good morning. Here.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your head.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe that dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
Well, pitter patter, let's get at her.
Oh, I guess we've made it. It's a Monday again. Somehow we've found ourselves back here again. But happy Monday. We've all survived the weekend. We're going to be sans Walter this morning, I do believe. You know, he had a pretty rough weekend and is said if he was still awake by this time, he would hop on. So I'm assuming he has since fallen asleep. Fingers crossed, because we know he needs the sleep. Iwan the Terrible. Good to see you there. It's not often you see great names this early in the morning. Good to see you here, Regina. Laura. I know I missed some people. Sherry. Of course, Sherry. Sherry was first. And Big Pine comes rolling in.
Big Pine.
How are you doing, Zack?
Working again. Not bad. Had not a bad weekend, I guess. Got to go shooting Saturday.
I was going to say, I saw you throw some lead downrange.
Yeah, it felt good. I had to get my scope sighted back in after I had Loctite it and everything. But once I got it in, the 100-yarder was pretty accurate. I kept it all within about 5-inch spread. Then we moved it up to 7. My buddy was shooting smaller gun. It was more like a submachine gun type. Shooting 9mm. He couldn't hit it at 100.
Really?
It's hard. It is. Even like my 38 special out of the rifle is hard to hit the target at 100 yards. At 100 yards, those subsonic rounds drop from like 6 to 9 inches. at just 100 yards. And it was windy. So I'm sure it was throwing them around all over the place.
Uh-huh.
We scooted up to 75, see if he could hit it then. All my targets were like within 4 inches. Maybe even a little bit, about 4 inches. And then we moved up to 50, and all mine were like within 3. Like that was right around the little square, 1 inch by 1 inch square in the center. Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah, my buddy, my Marine buddy, sent me a message on that picture, and he put expert. I was like, oh, that made me feel good. I'm getting it down, though. Still haven't got my suppressor yet. I'm getting kind of irritated. Bought it in March. And it does say it'll take 3 to 4 weeks to make and all that kind of stuff. But then I went and checked again, and it says it's still processing. It's like, dude, come on already. Make my suppressor.
Do it.
Do it.
I did see the
and then I worked
ATF
yesterday.
Sorry, I saw ATF rolled back a whole bunch of regulations.
Yeah. The Supreme Court shot down a bunch of states who had gun laws. Well, I know it was up to like 22 different gun laws that the Supreme Court had to shoot down from 2020 to 2025.
I know they closed off the
and it's just
that gun show loophole where you can buy them out in the parking lot. They tried to put a kibosh on that, but I guess they rolled that back too.
You can buy a gun anywhere. It's a paperweight until you do something with it.
Yup.
Sorry, I had to give me a drink of coffee.
I need to go get my fresh. I'm still running on the very bottom of my reheated cup this morning. I was a little late pressing the button, so it was brewing while I was in here setting up the show.
Well, you go freshen that up. I'm going to read this Walmart article. I've been waiting for this. I think I called this, I don't know how many years ago. So the Walmart checkout officially calls end to the self-checkout at the store as it plans to remodel 650 locations.
Surprised it took them this long.
I know. And now all these idiot smaller companies that followed suit are probably going to follow again too now. Oh, if they're doing it, we'll go back to... Like, whenever I go to the grocery store, there'll be 1, maybe 2 lines open with like 4 or 5 people waiting there and 1 person doing the self-checkout. And that's not even the reason. Let's see what they say. Why they're doing it. So it's removed most of the self-checkout lanes at its South Philadelphia store. The rollback was designed to improve the checkout experience. What? Tell me the truth. Why'd you do this? So it says the change has been made at Walmart's South Philadelphia store, the only one of the city's 5 locations to switch back to cashier-led checkouts. The decision was made after reviewing how customers shop at that location. These changes are guided by feedback from associates and customers, local shopping patterns, and the need of the business in each community. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's get to the real reasons now. Improve the checkout experience and enable associates to provide more personalized customer service. It's not like they couldn't go up to a register, right, This was supposed to make everything faster. So it says a small number of self-checkout lanes remain available for Spark drivers who deliver Walmart orders as independent contractors. Dollar General, Target, Five Below, and Walmart have all rolled back or limited self-checkout in some stores in recent years. In some stores. It sounds like they're beating around the bush. Okay, here we go. Some chains have pointed to theft concerns as part of the reason for the change. You think? You can go watch probably a month worth of police videos, right? Body cam videos of them waiting outside of these stores for people who didn't ring up half their stuff or put a sticker over it, like a 99-cent sticker, and then just started ringing that up a bunch of times for all the... It was just a bad idea from the get. All right, this is one of those things that's built around, everybody's a good person. Well, no, not everybody is a good person. All right? There's going to be some people that just take advantage of it and ruin it for everybody else. The company said it will remodel 32 shopping centers in the state of Pennsylvania this year. So 650 supercenters and neighborhood markets will be switched out in 2026. Upgraded layout, new technology, and expanded services. Now, this is probably because of all the money they had to pay for their anti-theft stuff. The upgrades are meant to make shopping faster and delivery easier, with some customers able to get orders in as little as an hour. Now, I've seen some videos. There's Walmarts, not around here. I haven't seen it yet, but they have drone stations at the Walmart. Like these big, giant tree-looking type towers. Doesn't look like a tree, but it's like this big, tall tower, and it's got like arms coming off of it that hold a bunch of drones. And people were getting all excited, recording their drone coming, dropping off their pistachios in the backyard, blah, blah, blah. And then goes to a video where these aren't small drones. A drone is on fire in someone's front yard. I don't know if someone shot it out of the sky or if it fell or... I mean, flying over people's houses, shouldn't they have to have like a route? Wouldn't you think? Like, don't fly directly over people's houses, maybe. Stay above the... I don't know. I don't know what a good idea would be, but if these things are going to be just falling out of the sky, then I don't want one flying over my house, right?
Well, bring it on. I'll sue the shit out of Amazon. I don't give a fuck.
And now up here in Chicagoland, the crime is getting so bad, you have to be 21 or older or have an adult with you to enter McDonald's. The doors are locked. Yeah. And the new ones they're designing doesn't even have inside seating. The only people that go in are people doing like DoorDash or whatever, all those different companies. They're the only ones that can go inside. The rest, you order it, and then you pick it up at a window, and there's outside seating. In Chicago. Yeah, that'll work great this winter.
Nothing says loving your Happy Meal like eating it in 5 feet of snow. It's negative 17-degree weather.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man.
It's a strange new world, and I don't believe I'm ready for it.
And you know, of all the videos you see of these, you know, people from the hood, whatnot, acting a fool. I mean, there's a lot of black people here in South Carolina and the area I live in. I've never met any of these people. All the black people I meet, they're just normal people. They don't speak with this different, like, accent type thing. It's weird. Like, I see it in videos and on TV and stuff like that. Like, all the time. I just worked with this lovely black lady Friday. She's one of the sweetest ladies I've met down here. I just don't see what I see on TV and on, you know, videos on YouTube and stuff like that. It's just weird. Maybe it's I don't hang out in the places they hang out or whatnot. But yeah, most of the black people I meet aren't racist. They're not, you know, they're just normal people. It is so weird. I don't know. Now, I'm sure if I went to the inner city to hang, see, I stay away from all the big cities, though.
That might have something
But
to
even
do with
like
it.
Greenville, you know, you go into Greenville, and Greenville's not small. It ain't huge. But it's got the homeless population is getting bigger. But even all those people, the homeless guy sitting on the side of the road, you'll see like 6 or 7 people on the side of the road. They're all, morning, how you doing today? Yada, yada, yada.
How often do you see one that's all emaciated with a distended belly, unable to pick himself up off the ground because he's just so starved for food?
Yeah, never.
Never.
No. They do a good job around here getting food to people like that and stuff like that. There's quite a few businesses that'll be like, hey, if you want to come in and do some dishes for an hour or something, we'll feed you, stuff like that. Yeah, it's really nice. It's so different than it was up north, like in the Chicagoland area. So different. Oh. So the rubber used to keep undersea tunnels sealed is dissolving from within faster than engineers ever expected. Imagine that. It's supposed to last 100 years, right?
Okay.
So they decided to just see how long the seawater would take to dissolve the rubber. And that determined how thick it was going to be. They left out the rest of the fucking engineering part about, you know, rubber under tension and pressure and this and that changes and blah, 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 and what that will actually do to rubber as well. So instead of lasting 100 years, they're thinking they might get 65 now.
Which means 45 at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, the gasket loses 67% of its sealing force in the amount of time. That's not good.
And these seals are for what?
Underwater tunnels. Yeah, that's something you want breaking down on you while you're in the tunnel.
True.
You're going to have a bad day.
But that's the risk you run. Like, there's only one reason why you wouldn't go into an underwater tunnel. Because if something happens, you're fucked. Like, it's a tunnel.
I don't know if I've ever driven under a tunnel underwater. Driven through a few mountains, and that really isn't even all that fun.
Mm-mm.
Having all that earth above you like that. I had a kind of a feeling going through there. I think the longest one I did was up in Colorado at the pass where you go over the
Continental Divide?
Or like the mountains divide, yeah. You know, it doesn't go over the peak. It goes up pretty high up into the mountain, and then they just poured through the top of the mountain, you know, to make it straight. And it's a pretty long tunnel. And yeah, I really didn't like being in there. Did not like it. What is this? British Airways will pay pilots $100,000 a year to taxi at Chicago O'Hare. Just for ground. You're not flying a plane. You're just taxiing them around the runways. Oh, offering salaries, here it is, of up to $100,000 per year. Yeah. It's hiring a taxi crew, pilots to move aircraft on the ground rather than operate flights in the air.
I thought they had like little airplane tugboats type of shit.
Yeah. That's what I thought too.
So like you could haul an airplane around without needing a pilot's license.
Mm-hmm.
That said, it sounds like they just needed something to do with all their DEI hires because they couldn't just fire them. Let's just get them to drive around in circles out on the runway. We'll pay him to do that.
$100,000 a year. Well, up to. I wonder what the first one starts off as.
Well, they offer up to. You forgot that first one too. Like you can hire everybody at $30,000 and still offer up to $100,000.
Yeah. Nice. They're building another nuclear reactor in Wyoming.
How many are there now?
I'm not sure. It said, let's see. So this is the fourth nuclear reactor to be built in the U.S. this century. And one of the first in a new generation of advanced designs. Wow, we've only bought 4 nuclear plants in 26 years. That's crazy. Now, I'm all for nuclear power.
Well, what do you think they're doing?
How does nuclear power work?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's real simple. They found when you mix these two, elements, when you mix any two elements, usually there's some type of reaction. Sometimes it's real fast, like gunpowder with a spark, boom, and it's gone. And some burn really, really, really slow. Some burn real hot. Some don't get that hot. Well, they found ones that burn really, 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 really slow and get really, 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 really hot. So they take these two elements, and they'll stick them down in water, and they'll start reacting with each other, creating heat. And then that heat turns a steam turbine. We're still doing steam turbines. That's how we get our, even with coal, with whatever type of thing we're using, it's a steam turbine that it's powering. And that's it. We're just making heat with different types of elements now that, burns hotter and burns longer with smaller amounts of that material. And yeah, you can have just like, look at the coal fires in Pennsylvania. They've been burning since the 60s, over 60 years. The ground underneath the earth caught on fire and has been burning for 60 years. That's insane. But yeah, that's, and why they haven't tried to trap some of that heat or whatever to use, I don't know.
That seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, doesn't it? It's already on fire. It's already producing all this heat. Why not try to capture some of that? Turn it into power.
Seems like you could bore a couple holes.
Have something at the top, catch all that heat, turn a turbine.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's nuclear power is just, it's alchemy. They found these two elements. When they put them together, it burns real hot, but real slow. Ooh, where's Alexandria? Archaeologists in Alexandria reveal hidden Greek and Roman city beneath modern streets. Oh, in Egypt. Yeah, they're trying so hard to keep their little history story held together. But it seems like the more we dig, the less accurate their story gets. The more stuff we find buried, it's like, oh, we got to rewrite the history book again a little bit here.
Well, Trump
Europe
just
and
authorized
Africa
the release
looking-
of the UAP files. So we're about to have full disclosure on aliens and UFOs. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
He said there was going to be full disclosure for Epstein, then it was just a big hoax. Then only morons were going to be paying attention to Epstein. Then they released the file.
Why are we even talking about Epstein? So all you people that followed Trump, are you feeling a little kind of away yet?
Tucker seems to be.
Like maybe he's just another one of the bunch, one of the group, playing his role. You think maybe they just left the border wide open so people would vote for Trump? Because this is all just kind of part of the plan. In my opinion, they knew they were going to attack Iran probably a decade ago during this Trump presidency. I mean, The Simpsons said Trump was going to be president in 2016 and 2024, like 15 years ago. They specifically said he was going to be this president in 2016 and 2024.
Project
Skipping
Looking Glass.
2020.
That was probably just the future
This
they were
shit has been
shown.
planned probably for decades. Yeah. This baffles me. No, it's all part of a show. Turn off the news. Don't watch it. Yeah, what was it about? Well, 2011, Obama did away with the Smith-Mundt Act. Now you have Democrat news or Republican news. That's retarded. It used to just be the news, and then people gave their opinion on it. Now it's just one person saying one thing, another group saying the exact opposite, and getting all these people to fight over who's telling the truth or who's lying. See, they're having a rough time down there in Georgia. 10,000 people apparently voted at least 2 times in one county. 10,000 people voted at least twice. And we don't need voter IDs? And their excuse is so racist. I cannot understand how they don't see that as being racist. Their excuse is, well, it makes it harder for black and brown people. That one New York governor was, they don't even know what a computer is. Oh, they had a field day with that. Did you see any of those videos?
No.
Those young black guys, they'd be sitting there in like shorts, looking at the computer like they're a monkey or something, touching it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I mean, it's 2026, folks. All these children probably had computers in like 4th or 5th grade whenever they get them. They've been on them their whole lives. Or to say that they can't get an ID. And then you go out and talk to some black people. Hey, do you have an ID? Is it pretty easy to get? Oh, okay. And then saying stupid, oh, like, you have to have a passport. No, you don't have to, but you can use that as a form of identification. You don't have to bring your passport to the polling booth in order to vote. Stop saying stupid shit. I've never seen so many grown adults just ignore the truth and openly and blatantly just say lies because they want their side to win.
That's just irresponsible. I mean, if you want to have the right to talk, fine. But I think we should make sure everybody's at least smart enough to open their fucking mouth. We'll get them registered to speak. That way we can just check their ID to make sure that they're qualified to be speaking. Because it's their right.
And you know, I don't think most of them are lying. They just believe the shit and do zero research at all. They hear some politician or some news anchor say something, and they hold that as truth without actually going and looking. You know, the whole Charlie Kirk thing was a great example. All these people saying he's a racist and he's this and he's that and he's blah, 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 blah. And they got all this from 10 words that he said where, you know, in quotations with dots on both sides, meaning there's more to this than But this is the part we want you to see. These 10 words. He'll have like a 15-minute conversation with someone, and they take 10 words out of it, and it isn't even what he was actually saying. It was like maybe part of a question he was asking or something, and they make it out to seem like it was a statement. And these people read that, and then they run with it, never actually going and listening to the man actually speak in full context. I went and watched a whole bunch of Charlie Kirk videos after that, trying to find him being something like that. Every time I saw the man speak, it was with love and compassion. That's all I ever heard from that guy. And to demonize someone like that without ever even hearing the man speak, do some research, people. Yeah, it's annoying. They had to answer the question. I guess lots of people are asking, why do rockets curve instead of shooting straight up at launch?
I saw that story pass by.
It begins to curve, even appearing to fly horizontally or parallel to Earth. No, it actually looks like it's going pretty perpendicular, like straight down. All right, it don't look like it's just flying straight with the Earth. All those people, oh, well, that's the curve of the Earth right there. So the Earth is like, what, 70 miles around then?
And if it was flying with the curve of the Earth, wouldn't it be horizontal? According to their definition?
Mm-hmm.
That would, by definition, be flying horizontal.
So rockets need to curve to save fuel, resist gravity, and reach orbit. Oh, my goodness.
Well, sure, I could have driven straight there, but I figured I'd take a little detour. I figured I'd go the opposite direction and then swing back around that way after a while, to save gas. I figure if I take a longer route and need to pack more fuel, I'll get better gas mileage. The heavier it is, or something, I think, the more weight you have to move and the further you go, the better fuel mileage you get out of that. Yeah. Definitely becomes more fuel efficient with added weight and added distance. And then to reach orbit, well, of course, that just makes sense. If you're headed up, go that way, and you'll be up. Okay.
Gotta get dressed.
Why not shoot it sideways? Just do one straight shot, no turns, and it'll just skim over the Earth, and then the Earth will fall away as the curve of the Earth goes down, and you'll just keep going straight, right out into orbit. Don't point your rocket up. That's the problem. They're pointing the rocket's in the wrong damn direction. If you want to go up into space, you got to lay the rocket on its side, you see, and shoot it along the top of the Earth, horizontal, if you will, until the curve of the Earth falls away. As soon as it does, bingo, there you are.
Chilly here today. Is it 47 when I got up? Yeah, 44 degrees right now.
Ooh, that's chilly.
What the heck? Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh. Well, that does mean that these guys are not going to be out there very early.
Or very long. Although it may warm up, so.
Yeah, it's supposed to get up into the 60s, I'm pretty sure.
We're starting off there. We'll be up in the 80s by the end of the day. Or close to.
Yeah, these guys are from Puerto Rico. They get this below 60 and they don't want to get out of the truck. One of the guys from Puerto Rico actually lives up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin now.
That's
Why
an adjustment.
would you go that far north? Yeah. Why you go that far north?
You get tired of all the sun and the warm and the sand and the beaches and the ocean and the trees and the bikinis. You're like, fuck it, I want to go up to fucking Wisconsin.
I've only driven through Milwaukee. I've never hung out there, but it's north of Chicago on that same lake. I'm sure it gets cold. Horribly, horribly cold. Yeah, I had to wash my work pants finally.
Starting to stand up on their own, were they?
Just about. I always wear something underneath them usually. But they were starting to get some spots and this and that, and just, yeah, it was time. My work shirt, too. I always wear a shirt underneath it. It's so sun faded, it's crazy. When I don't have my vest on, it looks normal, and I take it off, and where the vest covers it, it's like two different colors.
Good morning, gentlemen. I was on mute for like 5 minutes.
Andrew B.
Thought you guys were just being assholes or something.
Oh, we
Yeah,
are.
that was-
We just wouldn't do it
That was my fault.
by ignoring you.
No, it's. Someone told me, like when I was in the military, he said, "Have you been salty yet?" What the fuck do you even mean? And then I realized it's where you work so hard to the point where you sweat so much, to the point where it causes like these sweat stains on your uniforms. That's called being salty. Hence the reason you have to drink a bunch of water with a whole bunch of electrolytes in it in order for you to not die as you're working. It's called being salty, from what I learned. And it did happen to me multiple times.
Yeah, I get those in the summertime all the time. Sweating so much.
Yeah, but you're in East Coast. It's way more humid out there. But when it happens in Iraq versus Thailand, those are very different humidity type of areas. Like Thailand, you wake up, it's like, oh, it's 90% humidity at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, oh, fuck, this is going to be terrible. And then Iraq, it's like it never drops below 90 in the summer. But either way, you get salty. Mostly humidic environment. But anyway, I hope everyone's having a very wonderful day, as always.
How was your weekend, Andrew?
My weekend was spent, I smoked a lot of crack. I hung out with Joe Biden for a little while. And
was Hunter there?
Yeah, well, he's the one that gave us crack. Yeah. No, no, it was just basically a restful weekend. Just chilling out, exercising, sleeping, and in the process of still remodeling my home before I sell it. A lot of electrical work and some plumbing.
You finally wisened up, decide to get the fuck out of California?
I'm gonna have to stay. I just want to move closer to my work, and I hate my neighbors, like a lot. So I also live in the flight path, the landing flight path of the San Jose airport. So guess how many airplanes I get to hear per day? All of
7.
them. All of them.
But you work so far from your house. How can you hear airplanes at work?
No, when I'm at home.
So you miss the ones that go overhead when you're not there.
Yeah, I work.
And you work a lot, as I recall.
Yeah.
So you probably aren't really catching that many, honestly.
I mean, all right. I bought my home for $365,000. It's close to $600,000 in value right now. I'm going to put about $40,000 into remodeling it, which I'm going to get 100% of that back, guaranteed. And then I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
I think it takes a grand total of about 3.
3 what?
Planes before a person decides I need to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, it's
but it sucks.
It's about 1 every 50 seconds.
And after the 3rd, I'd be done.
Some people say, "Oh yeah, you get used to it."
Were you talking to Hank? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I was confused about that as well.
Sounded pretty far off.
Don't you have my coffee?
So again, I have to give Space.com's unfortunate news. I'm starting to tear up a little bit about this.
Are you going to break up with NASA?
Twice? Yeah, I might have to do another one because that's a good idea. NASA breakup letter number 2. Artemis 3 has been pushed back until late 2027. NASA still land astronauts on the moon? Not still land on. Can they at all? And they can't. I have been doing my own diagnostic type of reports with people on the internet, talking to them, mainly through Discord. And I've asked them, do you consider NASA to be a completely legitimate government agency? And most of them say yes. But then I say, well, what about the IRS? What about the military? What about these other Department of Agriculture? And they say, no. But NASA, they're truthful. So
what? How are they defining a legitimate government agency? Like, if the government says, hey, we're starting an agency, and they do, and they fund it, and then they employ people to fill all the roles, and then the agency starts doing whatever they designed that agency to do, how is that not legitimate?
are they being...
Like, what's the legitimacy?
I love your criticism.
What's the difference in legitimacy between NASA and the Department of Agriculture? What makes one less legitimate than the other?
is one agency. If I were to start the andrewbaker.gov agency, and all I was doing was something that was fraudulent, I would say that would be illegitimate. Or if I were to start another company called the WQX15551 agency, and didn't do anything other than just cipher money from the public and did nothing whatsoever.
So things like the FBI and the CIA, those are all illegitimate.
For the most part, I would say probably yes. I mean,
basically, 50%. Because by your definition, they should not even ever exist.
No.
You wouldn't be able to have a CIA in something like a legitimate government by your definition, because how could you operate the CIA and not operate fraudulently?
Damn it, Josh, you always...
I mean, you've got to lie about what you're doing when you're working for the CIA. That's just all there is to it. And you got to lie about what the CIA is doing when you have something like the CIA.
Yeah, of course. I suppose. I mean, I was a government employee, and they don't tell you the fucking, like, oh, by the way, here's what's actually going on.
Well, then maybe somewhere in the fine print that you just tell you right offhand that they're lying about it all, just like the CIA. Right? We're just going to lie about stuff. That way, we're not operating fraudulently. If our department was set up to lie, and the fraud is baked in to the purpose, seems like that'd be, again, just another legitimate government agency.
All right. NASA is a .gov agency, right?
Sure. I think they've got a .gov.
No, that's NASA.gov. That's the website.
But what's that got to do with it? Like, does the .gov give it legitimacy? What about agencies that don't have a .gov in the government?
Those are private industries that we don't have.
Special thing for military?
The .gov from a government agency that doesn't have a .gov would be a private one? So it is the .gov that gives it legitimacy.
.gov, .mil, .edu.
Anything public, anything funded by the public? That type of thing? Yes. So anything not private. All the stuff that isn't private, regardless of whether it's got a website and a landing page for its...
An example. They could lie to you all day long.
But what if the agency doesn't have a .gov or a .mil? What if it doesn't have a website? What if they thought, well, maybe we ought not just let the public know about all this shit, and we just won't give it a public-facing website? It doesn't need a .gov or a .mil or a .edu.
NASA is telling people that they are building these rockets that are going to be doing certain things, and they're charging the public for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on a government website,
Mm-hmm.
NASA.gov.
Mm-hmm. What if it wasn't on the website? Would that matter?
Well, hold on. Should they be required to tell the truth to the public when they're charging the public money for these expeditions?
That's a good question. Just wanted to clarify, will it matter if they have a .gov website or not?
I would assume that it would be associated with the URL for the public interest.
Like a live feed of all the satellites, maybe? Just for public interest?
Well, you are a uniform resource locator. So it's a locator, no, a library. What it is. So it's available to the public.
So as long as a government agency is doing it, they should completely lay their books open and put everything they do on a .gov website? That's what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
So explain to me how the CIA works.
Well, they have a disinformation campaign.
No, I mean in Andrew's world where the CIA has to make everything public and put it on a .gov website?
Well, they can have something called an internet, which when I was at the VA,
whatever way they're giving the information that they gather and making it completely open and free use for the public. However they do that, internet, intranet, whichever one it is. I'm just wondering how you could function as a CIA if you have to make all of your intel public and put it on a website for the public to get. It's like open source intel. Is that what this is? If it's government, it should be open source.
In a sense, yes.
What does that mean, in a sense?
Well, if they didn't want it to be fully, we're funding them, right? I think.
Yeah, but there's classified.
He's saying no. He's saying no. He's saying there should be no top secret classifications, and anything that anybody for the government has needs to be put on the internet for the public to see.
Well, if you had a one world government, maybe that could be done because you don't have any adversaries, right?
Right, because you're an Earth intelligence agency. All the intelligence agencies are one. That would. But even then, if all the intelligence agencies are one, and you just made all of their information public, wouldn't like everybody be the intelligence agency then at that point? Because we've all got the same information that the CIA would have, or whatever global intelligence agency that they would call themselves.
What information that the government do?
Watch C-SPAN. Spend 2 days, again? 1 weekend. Just spend 1 weekend doing nothing but watching C-SPAN.
I have watched C-SPAN quite a bit. I've been to Washington, D.C. for a high school trip twice. I used to live in Virginia. I know quite a bit about that.
You think all that shit's necessary?
No. I think that's why I...
but you're saying make it redundant. Not only should that be necessary, but now they should also go put all of what they just did on the internet.
Yes.
No closed doors.
I would suppose there would be some sort of exceptions to the rule, but
okay.
When most
I'd say that's what we have now. What you're describing is what we have now.
No, come on.
Where do we not? Show me where we don't have that now.
Military testing.
What about
military?
All made public, except for the exceptional stuff. Except for the stuff that they leave out separate and they accept separately from the public information. That's what you get.
The actual voting.
Nope.
Which is
got that too. They give you all the public information except for the stuff they don't want to release, and they keep that separate as an
damn it, Josh.
Something that's accepted.
I thought you were going to agree with me once.
I'm trying. No, I'm wholly convinced.
One of the best.
Just wholly convinced.
Devil's advocate.
Whether a badge of honor or a badge of shame, there it is.
No, it's awesome because if I started talking about how Pinocchio was like the president and you were agreeing with me, then I wouldn't trust you. But I do trust you because you will go against a very, very stoned Andrew.
I will.
Yes.
Good morning, Liz.
Fucking lanes here, you moron. Sorry. I love when people just drive into the other lane to make their left turn, like nobody else exists on Earth. They're the only ones here, and I can't even turn in because you've taken. Oh, sorry.
Oh, dude.
Too early for dumb.
No, driving. I like to hear this once in a while because my girlfriend had to calm me down a lot when I was driving and someone would make a stupid lane change or something. and I would roll down my window and flip them off and yell at them at like the top of my voice, and being very vulgar and racial in some cases. And yeah, but it's just dangerous. It's inconsiderate, irresponsible, and there's as according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, there are more people that are killed on the road every year than people that die in plane crashes. And I think it's like a 500 to 1 ratio or something like that. It's like,
or gun accidents.
Yeah, something like that. But when it comes to people that are just on their phone.
What about shopping cart accidents? I bet you that's a pretty low number.
What the fuck?
Well, you know, like people are riding around in shopping carts and then they crash into each other and somebody dies. I bet you that's
just one time that's happened.
Well, it's still got a low number, so that must mean it's safe.
No, you have to list a single incident, a shopping cart.
Well,
a shopping cart to shopping cart accident.
Well, then if there's not even a single reported accident, then that must be the safest way to travel. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, the logic is getting better.
Like the number of people that travel in a certain way based on the number of accidents might have something to do with it. Like the hundreds of millions of people in cars versus the few 100,000 people in the air versus nobody in shopping carts. So like the number of accidents may not necessarily correlate to safety.
Well, you can just do something else is ridiculous as like how many people have been brushing their teeth and died because they were brushing their teeth. Like,
exactly. One more good reason to brush your teeth. Seems pretty safe.
So we shouldn't use shopping carts because it might lead to death?
No, I'm saying based on these statistics, we should only use shopping carts because they're the safest way to travel. 0 reported accidents.
No, you're no. There's a possibility of it.
Sure. There's a possibility of an earthquake. What are you going to do about that?
No, man, fuck. Yeah, I live in California. I've been through several earthquakes, and you have no idea when they're going to happen.
So should you live your life like the possibility of one might happen at any given minute? Like just live in a fallout shelter with emergency food because one might happen in the very next minute, but you don't know?
I don't live in a fallout shelter. No. I don't know anyone that does.
So it's probably just better to just live your life instead of living your life as though something may potentially happen.
Well,
the potential danger is sort of irrelevant, is what I'm saying. People are going to live their life despite the potential danger.
Certain people that live in areas...
Like you choose to live in California even though there might be an earthquake, is my point.
I kind of choose to live in California.
No, you're getting ready to move, Andrew. It's not as though you can't... Like, it's totally by choice. And you're about to choose again to live in California.
Fuck you. No, it's true. It's no, I don't want to live in this particular area of California anymore because it's way overpriced. I want to move out to a separate area that's closer to my...
Chico's nice and cheap. Like Chico really isn't very expensive in relation to the rest of California. You move to Chico and you live in a nice life. It's a college town. I'm just saying, look into it.
Chico, I've been there. Yeah. It's basically a college town and liquor stores everywhere.
And a halfway decent cost of living. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Or I could move out to the middle of Nebraska somewhere, sell my home and live in a mansion And then
That's what I'm saying. If you look at Chico and the cost of living, you'd be surprised. I was probably not that far off from Nebraska. And the simple move to Chico is going to really up your lifestyle.
I'll pass. Actually, it's probably not a bad idea. Maybe I'll look into that. But my employer isn't anywhere close to that.
Yeah, that's a shame. I guess there's no way around that one. You got me there. Being stuck in a college town and no way to find a job at a college.
The answer is like, oh, Andrew, you don't have a college degree or 25 years of work experience. There's no way you could find a job somewhere else. Like, oh yeah, cool, Taco Bell, or
if only there was a way to figure out if there was some place for you to teach in or around a college town.
Well, or just be an electrician. It's like what I'm best at. But I happen to know a little bit about this. Just a wee little bit.
Yeah, and I'm just giving you trouble. I definitely wouldn't recommend anybody move to Chico, California. Despite the low cost of living for California.
If I won the lottery, had like, I don't know, 15 million in the bank or something like that. Yeah, Chico or Santa Cruz. Oh, I'd definitely be out there. I would turn super hippie super quick. Just, yeah, a blunt in my mouth and psilocybin on standby. Yeah.
If I won the lottery, there'd be signs. I might not tell anybody, but there'd probably be 30 or 40 people on YouTube wondering when IRONWORX is going to start.
Wonder where Josh is today.
Well, IRONWORX is on hold for the next 3 weeks. Josh is currently
building a bunker.
A bunker. Or building a bunker. What do you guys think? Is the lottery a real thing? Do people actually win the lottery?
I've lost it a few times. I guarantee it's real.
That's completely opposite.
What do you mean? How could I play if it wasn't real?
Do people win the lottery?
Do they know who's going to win before it even starts? Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah,
rigged?
I think it's rigged. Absolutely rigged. Yes. Well, rigged is actually an understatement. I don't think anyone actually wins the lottery.
So it's completely rigged for people to not win it?
Okay, so I used to be addicted to playing, scratchers and shit like that.
I figured you were a Keno guy.
I won $1,000 off of a scratcher one time, and I was just like completely amazed. Like, holy shit, $1,000 when I had a very small amount of money. And what I found out is you have to send it in. You can drive it all the way up to Sacramento, which is like a 2.5 hour drive from here, or you can mail it in, and then they will give you a check for the $1,000 that I won.
If you lived in Chico, the drive wouldn't be that far. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, it's only 2 hours north of Sacramento, so it's about the same distance. Anyways, that was just a scratcher. Then I started seeing all these lottery tickets that are going out. And I played, as soon as it starts getting to like $500 million or something like that, I was getting curious. I was like, you know what? Go ahead. I'll spend $20, which gives me 10 different random numbers. And I often will get nothing back. I might get $2 back. Again, if you can match any two of the numbers. Certain states require you to actually, for the state to say who the actual recipients, the winners are. Certain states, California as an example, doesn't require that. I think the lottery, in the words of Peter Griffin from Family Guy, the lottery is a tax on stupid people. So, yeah, that's why I don't buy any of those tickets.
Because it's a big scam that nobody wins. Is that the way I understand it? Despite the fact you won the lottery, you still contend that the lottery isn't real and people don't win. Is that was that what I've gathered from this story?
No, the jackpot is not real. When it goes up to, let's say it's $500 million as a jackpot.
Oh, you mean like
prize,
a Powerball?
Below that is still only going to be about $2 million. And people have won that. But not the $500 million.
Should have played Powerball after helping that monk.
And I have more evidence about this as well. I'm going to probably do an explanation. It's going to be hard for me to do this. But doing an entire presentation with, PowerPoint, websites, APA format, the works. And just showing how, the lottery is a bunch of bullshit. I mean, it's fun. And that's why a lot of people buy scratchers all the time.
It's fun if you win it, but it's really stupid if you play because it's just not real.
No, you can win money. I've won quite a bit of money off of scratchers, but I would say that over the years that I was scratching them off, I lost more than I won.
Well,
I don't know if I've ever bought a scratcher. I know I found one once that wasn't scratched, but I can't recall ever buying one. I have bought a Powerball ticket, I think, 2 different times.
Yeah, don't start doing the scratchers because they have these different little games that they use. So like crossword puzzles. And they make you really think about it as you're doing it. But in reality, you don't even have to do that. All you have to do is scratch off the barcode and then scan it. And then from there, it tells you if you are a winner or a loser.
Usually at the very bottom, there's an abbreviated code. Like if you look at the numbers of what you're winning, it's fine. But like in between those numbers, there's usually small little letters. And if you look at those letters, sometimes you might have to arrange them again, but it'll tell you. If it's a winner, it tells you how much you won, and if not, it won't make any sense. There's a code to the little hidden letters on the lotto tickets.
Yeah, you don't have to scratch off anything, really.
Back in the 80s, we were doing Little League, right? And you would buy a pack of cards, I think it was 88 maybe 87, and you'd buy a pack of Donruss baseball cards, and each, maybe it was just the big packs of like 100 cards, but it came with this scratcher. And every one was a possible winner. You had to scratch off, there was like maybe 9 things on there, and you had to scratch off the 3 that were winners. And if you scratch one off that wasn't a winner, you just automatically lose. Well, my buddy's dad got a painter's light, and he would lay the cards over it, and he could see right through the shit. He won like 20 sets of 1987 Donruss baseball cards.
Wait, a painter's light?
Yeah. Real bright 500-watt halogen bulb. And he could see right through the scratcher stuff that they were using.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Huh.
Giving you ideas, ain't I?
It sounds completely legal, so don't worry about that.
Well, like, when you buy a scratcher, though, do they ever happen to where you can win or can't win depending on what you scratch, or is it just you scratch it all off, no matter what?
All they do, they don't give a shit. You scratch off anything. All they're doing is scanning the barcode.
I think they used to do it that way, Zach. Once upon a time, like early scratch offs, it might have been that way. But I think just the act of having a scratch off and the scratch off existing, that scratch off shit is gonna like come off, right? Whether it's accidentally scraped off or scratched off, or if it's in a girl's purse or something and the keys rub against it, right? There's no reason that should void the whole fucking thing because your bullshit lotto ticket didn't stay on like you expected it to. Now I don't win it all because
I didn't
something
mean to scratch that spot. It just fell off.
Yeah, I think they changed that from the normal lotto.
Well, here's something interesting so there's this.
We'll see about that.
Little convenience liquor store place right across the street from where I live. And I've got to know them pretty well over the years. And Henry, I asked him, how many like lottery tickets do you guys sell per day, like scratchers and just regular tickets? And he said it's between 2,000 and 3,000 a day.
Good Lord.
And I was like, what in the what? How the fuck? He's like, oh yeah, it's half the customers that are in line. And they get the benefit of selling lottery tickets like that and scratchers is they get about 1% of the winnings. So they don't really even know, and they don't really care. But as I'm waiting in line, there's 5 people in front of me, and like all 5 of them just want lottery tickets or scratchers or whatever the fuck else is going on. And I understand it's like a gambling addiction.
Yeah, it is. Gambling addiction. Not like one, it is.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not like, literally is a gambling addiction. Fortunately, I got out of that. And 2, maybe 3 years ago, I decided, you know what? I'm going to put $20 down. And I bought 4 $5 scratchers. Guess how much I won out of those? 0. And yep, that's when I finally came to that conclusion of, I'm never doing this again. Even though once in a while I'm just curious, like, what if I put it like $100 down? Just get more. And then all of a sudden you win $40. Oh wow. I actually won some money and lost $60.
There's a guy I work with who definitely wins more than he spends on lotto tickets.
How the fuck is that possible?
I'm not entirely sure. There's a system. It's like keeping an eye on them. Like, you know which ones you're going to buy that day, but you've also look at the rest of the rolls. You're like, oh, all right, well, they've gone through this many on this one, so they're, I don't know. It's like you might spend $100 a couple times buying lotto tickets, but if you're buying decent lotto tickets, then anytime you win is going to be a pretty good jackpot. Like, I think he buys 5 $20 lotto tickets, and He does that maybe a couple times a week. And then usually every other week he wins something. Just depending on which.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it is like slot machines. People say that they play the slots and there's a system. You know, if it's not paid out in a while, that's the one you want or something. I don't know. I've pulled a one-armed bandit one time in my life at the airport in Las Vegas. Then outside of lottery, like I bought a couple scratchers. I bought maybe a handful of Powerball tickets. That's the extent of my gambling. Thank God. With my addictive personality, if I'd have been better at maths, I might have been in trouble.
Craps, blackjack, and poker. Those are the best gambling games to actually get involved in. Because it's math-based. And usually poker is going to be the most popular one because it's not just math, it's also skill. When it comes to the lottery, there's no skill that I could possibly think of, regardless of patterns or anything else. So if someone gets really lucky with the lottery a lot, I would say that they're probably a wizard or a psychic or just really, really lucky. When it comes to gambling, in my experience, I have never lost at blackjack. Not a single time have I walked away from a blackjack table without having more money than I came in with.
I can honestly say that I've never lost at blackjack either.
Because you've never played blackjack?
Sure.
Is that what you're saying?
I don't think it takes away from the fact that I've never lost.
It's not a fair equivalence, though. Come on, man. I have, however, I'm pretty good at poker, but I've lost quite a bit at poker because I got too ambitious. Blackjack? No. I'm not ambitious. It's because I'm playing. It's a 1v1.
What are you doing, dude?
Huh?
He's yelling at the drivers. He's road raging.
Oh.
I'm just going to sit here in the middle of the parking lot and not go either way.
It's a parking lot. I just stop, put it in park. Here I sit.
Jack, how far do you have to drive to go to work, man?
The whole way.
It changes.
Average, what, 20, 30 miles?
What the fuck is going on here? It depends. Like sometimes I work in Greenville, sometimes I'm working in Spartanburg. Like today is only like 15 miles, but I gotta go pick somebody up too.
All right. Not too bad.
Yeah. Oh, and sometimes it's like 32 miles, sometimes it's like 40 miles.
Yeah, that's where it becomes a little irritating, in my opinion.
And then it's not even that. I can do that pretty quick, but when there's traffic that turns a 35-minute trip into an hour and 15-minute trip, then I start getting a little irritated.
Love you, Liz.
Yeah,
you have a great day.
Probably never move to a major metropolitan area like Silicon Valley or Chicago or New York.
Well, there wasn't this many people when we moved here, but there's been we surpassed 1 million people in the Spartanburg, Greenville area just this year. They're putting up subdivisions everywhere and not widening the roads. I'm going to throw 10 subdivisions up on this road, but we're not going to add any more lanes to it. It'll be fine.
Matter of fact, we're going to keep the sewage and the water mains and even all the power lines. We're going to keep all that the same too. The grid can handle all that extra draw. You'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. That's why we're out here having to change lines right now. Putting bigger gauge lines in.
And it's okay because the borders are pretty much completely open, so anyone can come over. Fuck up the economy.
Well, I mean, the borders are not open.
Yeah, pretty much are. I mean,
we are at I mean, if you believe the government and what they say, we're at like a net negative for the first time in like decades, in a way that we've like almost even never been. There are more people of illegal status going out than are coming in. Like it's a negative as opposed to a positive.
Yeah, walls and numbers. How do you get past the wall? You go under it or over it, or
around it.
Break.
Yes,
break
Andrew,
it.
this is not news. Yes,
I know
you
that.
threw it.
That's what's going on. That's why, if we were really serious about it, we would just have machine guns. Like,
except we're getting rid of several.
Poland does. Poland says you get caught crossing our border illegally, you're going to be shot. They ain't messing around.
Where is he from? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at chat.
Where's who from?
I think whoever you just said.
Poland?
No, Poland, the country.
Oh,
like you can't go. Yeah, they're not messing around in Poland.
Yeah, but they got some fucked up neighbors.
You are not allowed to enter our country. Well, yeah, they see what happened to Germany and England and all these other European countries that decided to just let everybody in without any, assimilating to the culture. They just ship in 50,000 people and put them all into, well, now you're going to have little Somalia in downtown England, or little Afghanistan, or little whatever. And it's not going to be England in that area anymore. I mean, up in, Minnesota, they're doing the Quazon in the morning. Or is it Wisconsin? The city is actually...
Yeah, it's the five prayers a day on loudspeakers.
Blasting over loudspeakers. Now, you know what these people would be doing if it was a Christian prayer being blasted over loudspeakers? They'd be freaking out.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about the Muslims. I'm talking about the non-Christian atheists.
Everybody would be doing it. Probably even the Christians would be fucking freaking out about it. Yeah, I only had to experience that Muslim prayer in a couple of cities that I was in when I was in Iraq. Because normally, our base is called the FOB, Forward Operating Base, which was outside of one of the zones of the territorial, like Fallujah or Ramadi or Baghdad or something like that. But yeah, we were outside of that. We built our own base. We could kind of hear it a little bit, but it wasn't a big deal. I can't even imagine being inside of the city, like just experiencing that 5 times a day. That's called brainwashing or mind control.
I mean, it seems like just the jump scare alone would be enough to cause PTSD.
Yeah.
5 jump scares every day. Blasting the Beach Boys Wipeout 5 times a day over the loudspeaker.
I saw a sad one. I don't know what set this guy off. He was a Afghan vet. Kneeled down next to his car, finger out like it's a gun. Just like in sitting there yelling off, commands and this and that. And everybody was terrified to approach him. This cop, who was a vet, went up and started talking, because they tried to talk to him, but he didn't hear anything anybody was saying. And then this cop went up and started talking, military lingo. And he got him to calm down a little bit. And yeah, PTSD is very real. And it's not just being scared. It will send you into a different reality, to where you're in a battle zone again. In your mind, you're in a battle zone. And you're sitting in a parking lot at a gas station in America. But in your mind, you're over in Afghanistan right now. That's crazy when you think about it.
When I was in Iraq,
war isn't good.
War is hell. I didn't understand what that meant until I was there, and I volunteered for it. That's why I didn't want to be working in the military as someone that's working in personnel, doing paperwork and shit like that. 'Cause that's not really the military. It's like working at the DMV or something. So I obviously chose a combat role on purpose. Originally wanting to be a Navy SEAL, but I got in trouble and was disenrolled from that. So I had to choose the next best thing instead of special forces, special operations.
That's a great word. Disenroll.
What?
Why are you home so early, Josh? Well, turns out my work disenrolled me.
I'm not sure that's the proper terminology to use, but thank you very much. So, I lost my train of thought. What the fuck? Damn it, Josh.
Your consent to be on these premises has hereby been revoked. You are.
All right. Well, I suppose, yeah, that might.
You are disenrolled. Bye-bye.
Josh, I know you don't really consider yourself a veteran, even though you are. But tell me again, please. You don't have to. Why did you leave the Marine Corps early?
An injury prior to enlistment, which got me a general under honorable conditions discharge.
But injury prior to enlistment.
Yes.
How the fuck did you even get in?
Well, they tried to get me with a fraudulent enlistment, but the CO really liked me, essentially.
Okay.
So they talked up to the base commander, who was the one actually signing the paperwork.
So your head got blown off, and then it got reattached, and then.
No, it was stupid shit. It was all just my lower back, same as it fucking is now. But I was pretty rough on it, even before I was 17 years old. So
you got through boot camp. So I'm assuming.
Yep, graduated boot camp. I was like 2 weeks away from graduating AIT. I was just like right at graduating AIT.
Damn.
Yeah. Like even if I could have stuck it out for 2 more weeks and finished the fucking thing and gotten an assignment.
Pop quiz. Who is the name of the gunnery sergeant in Full Metal Jacket?
Hartman.
Oh.
There's 2 names. The real actor's name and the actual gunnery sergeant.
Fuck, I forget. It's been so long since I've seen that one.
Which one are you wanting? The actor's name or the gunnery sergeant's name?
Either or both.
Wasn't it Hartman?
My name is Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. Yes. I am your lead drill instructor. Gunnery Sergeant is E7, by the way, for people that don't know. Only goes up to E9, which is a Sergeant Major. Or for some reason it's weird, it goes to Sergeant Major or get the other one.
Master Chief?
No, that's in the Navy and Coast Guard.
Yeah, that's what my brother was.
Oh wow, that's the highest rank you can achieve. Unless it's like
and then he
Command Master Chief or something like that.
As a non-commissioned officer.
he couldn't pass the officer's exam. So he went into military police after 18 years.
Oh, so he went commissioned.
There it is.
Went 6 more.
Justin got it with Arlie Ermy.
All right, guys, I got to head out. I love y'all.
All right, Zach, you have a safe day.
Oh, yeah. Head on a swivel.
Don't drive safe.
You guys later.
All right, love you.
Drive like you fucking
never.
don't care.
All right. Talk to y'all later.
Toodles noodles.
But yeah, Arlie Ernie. He unfortunately passed away a few years ago.
And he was just an advisor for that movie originally.
No, he was an actual. If you look up the history of it, they
hired him because he was a actual former drill instructor, and they hired him to. What? They didn't hire him originally to be the drill instructor in that movie.
Correct.
What did they hire him to do?
No, they hired. No, they didn't originally hire him, but they hired an actor that didn't do very well, and therefore fired that guy and brought in an
Arlie Ermy was already there. That's why he was already there, was because he was there to advise that actor on how to do it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just did it so much better, they ended up keeping him and getting rid of the actor. I think he was there strictly an advisory role.
Marine boot camp is... I was actually supposed to be a Marine.
I was supposed to be in the Air Force.
What the fuck? Well, we both got mistaken.
My Air Force recruiter. That's the word I was looking for. The recruiter in the recruiting station for the Air Force somehow couldn't get me the security clearance I wanted for the job I wanted because I'd had weed in my system.
What job did you want?
It was similar to security forces. I had a pretty good ASVAB score from what I remember.
Okay.
So when I went into the Marine Corps, it was for an 03 Uniform Victor, which is security forces. They call it a glorified grunt. But basically, like, it wasn't a military police billet. It was like when you see the president getting on Air Force One or Air Force Two, and you'll see a Marine in dress blues.
Yep.
That's the security forces. You see Marines out front that are like literally guarding and patrolling nuclear silos and secret military sites. Those are security forces, not necessarily military police. They leave the policing of like the base to the MPs, but like for those big international military bases that need guarding, they have this whole separate job for that.
That sounds really, really fucking boring.
It can be. It could also be pretty interesting.
But just walking.
I had a buddy in high school. He went in for the same thing.
Standing at attention?
Pretty well. I mean, it's like I said, I'm really glad I got out when I did, I'd probably be dead now. Given what had happened just not long after I was in, I probably would have re-upped immediately. And, you know, like again, I had a buddy in high school. He went in as an 03 uniform Victor. He spent most of his time in Kuala Lumpur. And I think just, not doing much of anything. I expected it to probably been a lot like AIT.
Hold on. What year did you graduate high school?
1996.
Okay, so 4 years before me. All right. So there wasn't really much going on.
Nope.
At that time. So in 2000, when I joined,
there was
something pretty serious shit happened. 2001.
Right. And like I said, and that's when I would have probably re-upped, because I've already had 4 years. If I would have been in the mentality, if I didn't re-up and re-sign for another 4 at the end of 4, which I imagine I would have done. If I had stayed in, I probably would have just stayed in, especially after 2001. I probably would have already had that full military mentality and would have been more than willing to either re-sign or continue my enlistment. What's up, Leland? Good to see you.
Oh, I'm not looking at chat. Maybe I should.
Sorry, Mark.
Hello, everyone in chat.
And that sucks, because just living my life makes me feel old. So if me doing that makes you feel old, then shit.
Nah. The only thing I regret about not staying in the military is the fact that I am 43 now, and I would have had a full pension if I would have stayed in. And if there's any children or ladies listening at the moment, please plug your ears.
Earmuffs.
Yeah, earmuffs. I got a lot of pussy when I was in the military. A lot. And my aunt shared a picture of me and her in a mall in Dallas, Texas, back in 2002, I think. And I looked at the picture of myself and who I am now, like 24 years ago. And I was like, fuck, I need to get back in shape. And I think that's one of the reasons I got laid so much. Plus, I got to experience the world. It was kind of like a vacation that you get paid to do. Because you don't get paid very much. I'm sure, Josh, you're aware of that. Like, oh, I got $500 after 2 weeks of pay? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you don't pay for food or housing or uniforms. So here's your money.
And a drinking problem.
And that's exactly, yep, that comes next. Yep. That's where it got me in trouble.
As if you didn't not make enough before.
When it came to the drinking, there was a place right across the street from my previous base called Sea Rounders. I don't know where the name of that bar came from, but either way, they had 5 pool tables in there, like 3 dartboards, the electronic ones, and then a full bar, and it was fucking awesome, right next to a tattoo parlor. And I was in Sea Rounders pretty much every single day. And I don't know how many women I hooked up with, but it was quite a few. And sometimes it was just a one-night stand. I should probably stop talking pretty soon. Very soon. Yeah. Actually, I am gonna.
I was gonna say there is something that there's a truth that girls love a guy in uniform.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned. Every single guy that went in there, whether they're in uniform or not really allowed to go in anything outside of base, you're not supposed to have your uniform on unless you're going to like a gas station or like the grocery store or something like that, like really quick. But you're not supposed to be like getting off work and then just going to a bar and just getting shit-faced drunk. No, you're not supposed to do that. Not allowed to.
I'm convinced that most of Stolen Valor is just normal, everyday citizens trying to get pussy that would military guys get.
All right. Yeah, probably. Stolen Valor is one of those things that, in my opinion, it should be a crime, but it actually isn't a crime. I think it's deemed illegal, but it's not a criminal offense.
Well, who would be the victim?
Right, there has to be a victim. So, but in my opinion, I think Stolen Valor should be like a separate law of code. Because if I impersonate a police officer with a fake gun, fake badge, and all that, what's the penalty?
You get charged with impersonating a police officer.
Okay.
What if you go to the bar and you tell everybody you used to be a police officer?
I think you'd have to prove it.
Why?
Because it's an affirmative statement.
Well, isn't all Stolen Valor affirmative statements that just don't need to be proven? That's why and how it gets stolen?
Come on, that's no.
No?
Yes, no.
So Stolen Valor is people that have proven that they were or are in the military.
Oh, no. Affirmative valor, like you and myself, I can prove it.
Right.
But someone else that just wants to get, I don't know, a military tattoo on their shoulder, whatever it is, in the Marines, which is the
EGA.
The what?
The EGA.
Well, it's the
Eagle, Globe, and Anchor.
There you go. Okay. Didn't know the exact phraseology for that one. But yes. So anyone can go and get that tattooed on their shoulder, which is a very, very common thing in the Marine Corps, from what I saw. And then they say, I was in the Marines. Look at my tattoo. Look at the uniform I'm wearing.
What if you're out of uniform and you just sporting a military tattoo?
still say the same thing.
Stolen valor?
Yep. Could be. As long as... Oh, here's where the fine print, I suppose, comes in. Say, well, let's say that the police officer that arrests someone was in the Marine Corps, notices that.
Mm-hmm.
Says, oh, were you in the Marine Corps? The guy says, yeah. Even though he wasn't. Is that stolen valor?
I don't believe necessarily.
Why not? He said he was in the Marine Corps, has that tattoo, but never served a day in uniform in the Marine Corps.
What valor is being stolen?
It's called lying.
No.
Valorous.
Sir, what's your name? Well, actually, my name is Andrew Baker. Stolen valor?
Fuck you.
Is that stolen valor? I lied. If it's a lie, it's stolen valor. Yes?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Fallacious.
That's... Mm-hmm. Agreed. I completely agree. Which brings me back to my question of, if a cop pulls you over and sees your EGA that you got even though you were never in the Marine Corps, and he says, hey, were you in the Marine? And you look at him and you say, Semper Fi, Devil Dog, even though you were never in the Marines, what valor is being stolen?
The position of never being in the Marine Corps.
What?
I said the valor is from never having actually been in the Marine Corps. That's the stolen valor. They're taking a position which some people have earned, and then claiming that upon themselves. As an example, I have
like my track, like the guy that does my trash. Like, I know he used to ride on the back of the truck, and he would be the one that gets off, grabs the can, and then runs around and dumps it in the back, and then runs and puts the can back, and then runs back to the truck, hops back on, and then they go again. And now he's the one that sits in the truck and drives. He's earned that position. He earned the position to be in the driver's seat now. So you can't just go around saying, hey, I drive a trash truck, because by God, the people that do drive trash trucks, they earned that position. So you can't go stealing valor, claiming to be a trash truck driver when you're not. Is that the way I understand
it? I'm
it?
way too unsober for this. I need to... All right.
Don't worry, we've only got about 6 minutes left.
Yeah, okay. So maybe I'll just stay as sober as I am at the moment.
And I'll get as stoned as I can before
those
I go.
Those two things are not... they're not equative. A guy driving around on the back of a trash truck and picking up stuff and just throwing it back there is not the same thing.
Can I tell you in what way that they are?
Please, I heard you take a bong load. Go ahead, do it.
I'm just saying, because the way that you had defined the stolen valor as being that you're taking away from someone that's earned the position. That just seems like a pretty loosey-goosey definition for stolen valor, given the fact that my trash guy has earned his position to drive the truck, because did such a good job working as a thrower. They put him out behind the wheel and let him drive. Now he's a driver. He earned that position.
That's the same thing as
that's my point. That's my point. Your point was, but that's my point, Andrew. Your point is that they earned the position, and you can't take valor from someone with an earned position. So they're the same thing because they both earned a position, you see. That's how they are the same. And the military and my trash truck driver both earned their position. So just by saying that I'm one of those things doesn't make it stolen valor just because the position was earned. You see what I'm saying? The similarity is the fact that they earned the position, which is what you're saying makes it stolen valor. It's stolen valor because you're taking away from a position that somebody earned. Well, great. My trash truck driver earned his position too.
Congressman Andrew Baker. Can I do that? Or call you Senator Josh Corey?
Yes.
Why?
Why can you call me Senator Josh Corey?
Yeah.
Because you've got the right to identify me however you see me. It's none of my business how you see me.
Twisted. Uh-oh.
It's none of my business how you see me. Not my business what you think of me.
How about God Emperor Josh Corey?
Like I said, not my business. If that's... Look. I've been to California, and you're right that pussy gets slung pretty loose out that way.
Oh, that's an understatement. But yeah.
And so do feelings. You'd be surprised the number of women that holler God when they're with me. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, wow. You're married.
And I don't live in California anymore.
And you should probably record this recording.
She knows I used to live in California.
Okay. But
she's also aware that I don't live in California now.
All right.
Just like you all don't know any details, she doesn't ask about details either.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah.
But like I said, how you identify me is not my business. If what is most important is self-identification and how a person identify oneself, that's great. Then it shouldn't matter how other people identify me. It's not my business. I think fucking Popeye said it best when he said, I am what I am.
Wait, Popeye, like Robin Williams back in the day? That Popeye?
Yep. Very same. The Sailor Man, that one.
Yeah. And that's why I actually have an anchor tattoo on my right forearm. Because of that.
So Olive Oil will recognize you when she sees you?
Yeah, now that she's like 85 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yes, on a plane, you cannot fix California. Actually, there's only a certain portion of California that can't be fixed, which is about 3/4 of the state. The rest of it can be fixed.
Yeah, looks like we managed to do it. Somehow. Thanks, Andrew, for coming to hang out. Thanks, everybody in chat. So good to see Liz there in chat. But I know she has a busy day ahead of her. She's got a busy day ahead of her. She's already gone. You missed her.
Ah.
Maybe next time, Andrew. Maybe next time. Which would be Wednesday. And or Friday, which is the next time we're going to have ourselves a nice little show. So make sure you guys come back here on Wednesday morning for more of the Ironworks. So until then, I want you all to have a beautiful week. I want you all to be good. I want you all to be well. And if you can, do some good. And if you're going to do some good, by God, do it well. Don't forget that we love you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.